Hiya, I hope you're doing well. I wanted to get on here today to read through the developer update for September 2024, as I have seen a few of the changes, but I wanted to give my thoughts and opinions, and I do hope you enjoy. I do like doing these sorts of videos where I can kind of get my thoughts and feelings out and have a bit of a rant. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Here we go. We're going to start off with the finishing Mori. So, the killer can now perform a Mori on the final survivor without using an offering. So what I think this suggests is, even if you do not have an offering, you can always Mori the last person, which I think is good. Objects obstructing the camera during the Mori animation will fade away. That's very interesting, honestly. Because normally you put them in a very good spot, it looks fantastic, and then there's just a random fucking tree blocking it. Love it. Memento Mori offerings have a new effect. Gain a large blood point bonus when performing a Mori on the final survivor. I like that. That's really cool. So it rewards you for getting the final Mori, which is amazing. So starting off alright. I know with Moris it's kind of like I don't mind them adding a finisher Mori, but I feel like there's going to be more important things in here that I'm more interested about. So yeah. Hey you. Yes you. If you do enjoy this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And at the same time, if you enjoy my content or this type of video, please be sure to subscribe, as it would mean the world and it does help out. And I will be thankful for the support. And also I do stream over on Twitch. So if you're interested in seeing some live gameplay and chilling out with me and the chat, the option is there. So yeah, I'm going to let you get back to the video. Enjoy. I am going to skip Teamwork Power of 2 and Collective Stealth, only because I don't really use the perks, nor do I care about them. Corrective Action, I don't really know what this one is. I think it's one of Jonah's perks. Applies to survivors within 8 meters while cooperating on the same action. Prevented failed skill checks now become great skill checks. Okay, that's interesting. Now, this is what I am most excited about. If you've been to the streams, I absolutely love aura builds. I literally created an aura build. I think I might do a video on the aura build that I've created. I'll have to get it all ready though. I'm going to have to film some gameplay of it. But I love them. I love putting a whole build together that shows me the killer's aura for a great amount of time. So, inner focus, I think base kit, you see the killer's aura for 5 seconds, which is interesting. It's been buffed and made even more effective. So inner focus, you can now see the killer's aura for 10 seconds. 10 freaking seconds. And they've also removed the range requirement. So, inner focus works if a survivor within 32 meters of your location gets injured, you see the killer's aura for 5 seconds. It was originally. Now it's going to be 10 seconds, but without the requirement of range. So, if a survivor gets hit on the other side of the map, nowhere near you, you see the killer's aura for 10 seconds. Pair this with Eye of Belmont, which will increase that perk another 2 seconds, is incredible. They are onto something with this. I love aura perks, so this is going to be right on my street. We're going to live forever. Increased healing speed bonus to 150%. Removed endurance effect, no longer needs to be activated. Okay. Added a 30-second cooldown to the endurance effect. Okay, that's interesting. Poised, when you first start repairing a generator, you see the killer's aura for 6 seconds and increase the duration to 10, 12 and 14 seconds. So when you first start repairing a gen, you see the killer's aura for 6 seconds. Again, this might be another perk that I may have to add to my aura build, because Eye of Belmont, 2 seconds added on to that 6 seconds is fantastic. They've made it 14 seconds, so when a generator is completed, the killer does not see the survivor scratch marks for 14 seconds, which is pretty good, I've got to be honest with you. Blood Rush now activates for 40, 50 and 60 seconds after being unhooked. Previously activated permanently when you were 1 hook away from death. Okay. Blood Rush now deactivates upon performing a conspicuous action. Blood Rush now deactivates when the exit gates are powered, and Blood Rush no longer heals or provides broken status effect. So I'm pretty sure beforehand Blood Rush activated on death hook, and it took 20 seconds for you to fully... I'm pretty sure it was 20 seconds for you to fully heal. I'm interested to how that's going to work. I'm a little confused, but I guess that we'll have to see how it works. Quick Gambit. When chased, see the auras of other survivors. Quick Gambit now has a 60-second cooldown upon losing a health state. Reduced the repair speed to 3%, 4%, 5%. Respair. That's a new word. I'm going to keep that in the video. I normally edit stuff like that out. Moving on. Repair speed bonus no longer has a limited range. So, if the survivor being chased is nowhere near a gen, everyone else gets a generator repair speed boost, as long as the survivor doesn't lose a health state. That is... It's gonna depend on how good the survivor being chased is at occupying the killer's time without losing a health state. This could be very good if the chase lasts a good amount of time without being injured. Distortion, for me, this one needed a nerf, because it's funny. I see, I'm not gonna name drop anyone, but I do see streamers running this. And then as soon as the killer looks behind like a corner or checks the environment, they immediately call stream sniping. It's fucking hilarious how immature some people are. And they would run distortion so they cannot be found basically the entire game. And as soon as the killer's smart and checks the environment... Anyway, moving on. Distortion no longer has tokens, and instead deactivates once used until the next time you are chased. So until the next time you are chased, I assume that you have to be chased long enough to get another use out of distortion, and increase the duration to 12 seconds being the highest tier, which I think it's a fair trade, because a lot of people would use distortion even though they haven't been chased and they basically haven't earned it. So now it's going to be fair. You're going to have to actually be good at being chased. So yeah, that's great. Lucky Star now suppresses grunts of pain and pools of blood as long as you are in a locker. This effect lingers for 30 seconds after exiting the locker. I don't think it'll be one of those perks that I heavily focus on, because it's not really grabbing me in any way. It's not really interesting me. Okay, moving on to the killer perks. Here we go. Starting off with genetic limits. Anytime a survivor loses a health state, they suffer from the exhaustion status effect for 8 seconds at the highest tier. Which, that is really something, honestly. So, in order to basically get any use out of your exhaustion perk, you need to last well in the chase. Enough for the killer to stop chasing you, which I think that's good. Machine learning. The most recently damaged generator becomes compromised. Machine learning previously required you to damage one generator to activate it, then another to compromise it. This made it awkward to use. To simplify this, the most recently damaged gen will always be compromised. Only one gen can be compromised at a time. The gen will be compromised, which means it won't be able to be interacted with, but this can only happen with one gen. It'd be fucking crazy if it was like multiple gens. Can you imagine that? Like, 3 genning would be like a fucking permanent thing. Wow. Deathbound no longer has a distance requirement to activate, okay, and it no longer has a duration, instead deactivates when the healer is hooked, okay. Zanshin tactics. When a survivor is within 6 meters of a dropped pallet, within 16 meters of your location, their aura is revealed for 10 seconds. That might be very interesting. That could cause some very cool mind games, honestly. I can't wait to see how that pans out, because beforehand Zanshin Tactics was shit. It was basically, it's kind of like a very shit Windows of Opportunity, because Windows of Opportunity is pretty much only useful for Survivor, so they obviously know where every loop is. But with Killer, there was no point, because obviously you're not chasing pallets, you're not looping as Killer, are you? You're just chasing Survivors, so it was pretty much useless. I am glad that they changed this. Dead Man Switch, this one I think I'm excited for. So Dead Man Switch now only applies to the first survivor who stops repairing a gen. Only one generator now will be blocked. The first person to get off a gen will block that gen, is what I'm getting from this, and I hope I'm right. Increase the duration to 50 seconds. Dead Man Switch provides a very powerful effect, but can sometimes get out of hand when combined with other perks. We changed it to activate only on the first survivor who stops repairing, to limit how powerful it can be. This is a fantastic update, because it's unfortunate, because like obviously combined with Scorchuck, it's just a problem. It can be very problematic and can gain the killer so much leeway, it's insane. Blood Echo no longer has a cooldown and reduced duration to 30 seconds. Hex Crowd Control. The last 3, 4 and 5 vaults, which survivors rush vault, are blocked by the entity. This lasts until the Hex totem is cleansed. In vault heavy areas, it was possible for survivors to outlast the effect by linking together multiple windows. Going forward, the most recently vaulted windows will be blocked until the Hex is cleansed. Hold on a minute. The most recently blocked windows... Sorry, the most recently vaulted windows will be blocked until it's cleansed. That is kind of crazy. So that window will be forever blocked until either a survivor vaults another one, or a few others, or the Hex is cleansed. That's honestly crazy. That might do some damage, honestly. Predator. When a survivor escapes a chase, reveal their aura for 6 seconds. That is going to be amazing for Spirit mains, maybe even Dracula mains. Any killer that goes into a phase that can't really sense where the survivor is going to be interesting. So I'd probably say bye Iron Will for Spirit. This perk then goes on cooldown for 60, 50 and 40 seconds. The killer updates, this is what I'm very excited for. So we're going to start with the Score Merchant, who has received pretty much a huge nerf. I just want to give my thoughts on Score Merchant. I thought she was very boring to play, insufferable to play against, and just not really an interesting killer in chase. I just didn't really feel like they did her justice, and it surprises me that they've taken this long to make her somewhat enjoyable or interesting. So they have decreased the hindered penalty when scanned by a drone to 5%, which was 10%. 10% was a bit controversial because at that point you were very slow. The Score Merchant no longer gains haste when scanning a survivor, which I think is fair. I feel like the only thing the Score Merchant should have is the little undetectable, and I'm pretty sure they are keeping that, so you know. Reduced number of drone scan lines to 1 I think is fair, because every like half a second you had to stop to avoid getting scanned, and it was just stupid. Drones are now always in their active state. Okay. So they are always scanning, which is, yeah, that's fair. Drone scan lines are now visible beyond 16 meters. That's interesting. It's just mind-boggling. Like, Score Merchant has the biggest kill rate, but the least fun to play. That's what kind of is interesting Nurse is quite fun to play, and I would argue every now and then fun to go against. And even she has a very low kill rate, which is interesting. The Hillbilly, I think this change was necessary. Again, I've always said they need to remove the overheat mechanic and keep him like that. Make it so that he doesn't have an overheat, and that would be perfect. And then they added overdrive, which was a huge problem. Decreased time before overdrive starts to dissipate. 8 seconds was 15. Okay. Decreased overdrive movement speed to 11.5, which was 13 meters per second. Decreased overdrive charges gained while revving and sprinting. Okay. Increased chainsaw miss attack cooldown to 2.7. So basically punishing the killer if they miss an attack, which I feel like is fair. Especially when overdrive was active, you literally had no chance to get to a loop, even if the killer fucked up, which I just thought was unfair for the most part. The twins increased Victor's cooldown when crushed, which is very fair. The twins is very problematic. I feel like the twins has the capability of being one of the killers that can slug survivors the quickest. I feel like that's between maybe the twins, the nurse, and also the blight. But that's just my opinion. Don't fully buy into it. I would like them to have like a full rework like we were promised, but they 100% buffed them earlier in the year, so at least they're focusing on making them a little more easy to go against, but I still would like a rework. I feel like that would be amazing. The Unknown HUD update to display teleport cooldown and hallucination time. Movement speed now decreases sooner when charging your power. Okay. Increased teleport recovery speed to 15%. Adjustments to blurry photo and vanishing box add-ons, and improved visual and audio feedback when using UVX. Okay. I'm not really an Unknown player, but this is gonna... It could benefit people, and it could probably hinder as well. And we have gotten to the end of it. Honestly, I thought there was more, but I guess there's not. What was your favourite change? What was your least favourite change? If you would like to, tell me what you think of my opinions. I do wish you a fantastic day though. Thank you so much for watching. I will do more of these videos, deep diving and ranting about stuff. I do enjoy them, and I feel like it's a very interesting topic. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you and goodbye.